After this high value man, who will we find? We will find the millionaire, the multimillionaire, the billionaire, and Elon Musk, and everyone else. Don't forget Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg. Good evening and welcome to Nkululeko Freedom. This space is dedicated for personal development and male self-growth, addressing various aspects related to achieving our ambitions, aspirations in life, and both financial and interpersonal freedom. My name is Patekateka Nkululeko. I'm a medical doctor and evolutionary psychology enthusiast. We focus on business, finance, and entrepreneurship. The knowledge I have gained in these fields will guide our program. The fundamental pillars guiding our discussion will not only reflect my personal understanding, but will primarily be rooted on technical pillars, scientific pillars, study pillars, statistical pillars, and the everyday folklore experience of our communities and our cultures worldwide. These are the 5 pillars, with the 6th one being guided by the interpretation within these initial 5 pillars. So, with these 6 pillars, you will delve into them, and within your exploration, you will find and establish the 7th pillars on your side. What does this 7th pillar signify? It represents the conclusion drawn based on the topics I raised, the questions I posed, leading you to formulate your own conclusions. If the discussions in this place prove useful, you can utilize these insights as guiding principles for your life. Today we will delve into a crucial component on the path of a male development and personal growth. While this channel is dedicated to male development and self-growth, it is not exclusive to male. In society, especially concerning male and female interactions, no component can be implemented in isolation. A man will always need a woman by his side to support him in his battles, transformations, and journeys. Women are also invited to express their opinions and viewpoints on life and relationship within our space. Hence, women are not excluded but warmly welcome here in our space. Today, our focus is the concept of a high-value man. What defines a high-value man? For many, this may be a new term, while for others, it may already be familiar in their daily lives. In our communities, we have well-established terms such as poor, wealthy, and so forth, which are common knowledge. Moving to a deeper understanding, we differentiate between those with average incomes and those with extraordinary incomes. Extraordinary wealthy subdivided into millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires, and beyond. Traditionally in our communities, a high-value man may be recognized as someone who owns significant assets, perhaps a gentleman with 200 or 350 heads of cattle, a farmer with 50 or 100 hectares of highly productive lands, or someone managing an aviary producing tens of thousands of chickens annually. Such individual stands out in their community and are regarded differently from the other members. This traditional view defines a high-value man within his community. Now, let's define a high-value man in a technical level. Pay close attention to the facts we have discussed so far. The aspects we have discussed to stratify these definitions have been primarily financial aspects. While we haven't specified the level within these financial aspects, everything we have mentioned, billionaire, millionaire, multimillionaire, poor, richer, revolves around financial criteria. A high-value man sets the standard between common and extraordinary characteristics, and will be leaning towards desirable traits. We are saying that before we find a high-value man comes the poor individual and come the common, the average individual. That individual who has a monthly income or annual income that allows him to pay part of his bills and be satisfied with the bills he has paid. These are the two categories, the undesirable and the acceptable, which comes before a high value man. From this moment onwards, we encounter the high value man, who is that notable gentleman in the traditional sense we have spoken about previously, and whom in modernity we call him high value man. After this high value man, who will we find? We will find the millionaire, the multimillionaire, the billionaire, and Elon Musk, and everyone else. Don't forget Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg. So now let's understand something very important here. Why is it a high value man? This is the first desirable stage in this kind of evaluation which we are doing, in this classification which we are doing. Why is it the first desirable level? Furthermore, why is it that all of these levels after the high value man, we only discuss conditions that have financial aspects? But here in high value men, we will be discussing other things, not only finances. Here, some aspects will be glimpsed, and we will have to delve deeper into these areas. It is at this level of a high value man that we discuss aspects related to mindset, behavior aspects, the type of knowledge that this individual must have, the vision this individual must have towards the world, towards their peers in society, towards business, toward living habits, lifestyles, and their vision in components related to family, employment, and education. All these aspects are discussed at the level of a high value man. It is assumed that whoever progresses from the level of a high value man has already acquired all the skills beyond financial component that make him capable of navigating to the other levels with tranquility, the levels of millionaire, multimillionaire, and so on, without any type of challenge. Because when he was an aspirant of a high value man, he learned everything he needed to learn that he would be useful to him at all these subsequent levels. Therefore, at the following levels, these aspects related to mentality, knowledge, and everything else are no longer discussed. We only discuss the financial components. How much has he increased? How much more has he increased? And so forth. So speaking about a high value man, there are several aspects which we can discuss, which will not fit in a program like this one, because this discussion which we'll have is insignificant compared to the world of a high value man. There are 6 basic pillars that we will delve into to define what is a high value man. The first very important pillar is that this individual must earn annually a minimum of $100,000 of annual income. As we know, the dollar is the global language of money. Money in the world speaks dollar. And until we change that, it will continue to do so. This standard is defined based on the European and North American lifestyle, because these regions represents the pinnacle of quality of life globally. In this society, $100,000 per year is enough to meet all the needs that allow the best possible results for a human being, whether it's a man or a woman. There are some cities in the world where life is much more expensive, and the figure of $100,000 may need to be increased, while in other cheaper cities, the value could be reduced. For instance, New York has one of the most expensive lifestyles globally, where $100,000 may not be sufficient to fit a high-value man. On the other hand, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where the lifestyle is cheaper, you may not need $100,000, but we are talking here about global standards. What these limits signifies in relationship, in marriage, in life, raising children, everyday life, and in many aspects will be explored further and later on in another video. So hold on tight and get ready. From this first pillar, we jump to the third one, which says for at least 3 years. Why does we have to be earning this money for at least 3 years? And why not 5 years? This is simple. 3 years are sufficient to build pillars and allow in-out transformation in lifestyle, mindset, and get stabilization of income resources that will enable smooth navigation, especially if your income is above $100,000 per year. The 3-year limit is quite aggressive, so we often hear the more conservative 5-year limits. In short, this duration is enough so that even if there is any challenge along the way, after 3 or 5 years of striving to manage financially, there will be enough stability to maintain your lifestyle while you stabilize or seek new sources of income without significant changes. So, we already have 2 pillars: annual income and the period it should last. In addition to this, there are many other aspects: mindset, physical fitness, personality, behavior, education, skills, posture. We will dive deeper into all those aspects in other conversations at other times, but understanding all these aspects will ensure stability within your life, your family, and the community where you are located. But understanding all these aspects will ensure visibility within the community where you are located. The visibility that this aspect will guarantee you in your community and homeland is positive visibility, as many people can gain visibility in their community or homeland, but it may be negative visibility, which no one wants, or positive for the person but negative for society. These are delusional people who thinks something is positive, but all other people in society, they say that's negative. These are delusional people. You can never be a delusional one. The high-value man achieves positive visibility within his society, his homeland. Associated with the positive visibility is the recognitions he receives from society, from the skills that makes him visible and beneficial to society. Hence, recognition follows. In addition to this recognition, this individual will create a community and a network of relationship based on the skills that he possesses. These networks extends beyond his community, his homeland, reaching across borders. Because this individual has recognition and visibility, along with his knowledge and inherent qualities that makes him recognizable in his community, he can establish, maintain, expand, and deepen this network of relationship, influence, and contacts. Pay close attention to this. These are not ordinary network of contacts, but we are speaking of influential relationships towards other high-value men who recognizes the value of this individual as an equal. And the last pillar will be utility. There is no way for a society to recognize a high-value man or for a high-value man to build a strong network if his skills are of no use to anyone in his society? Only when his skills are beneficial to society can he grow, he increase his influence, and earn more income. Having thousands of dollars and skills is pointless if they are not useful to the community where you live. It may bring you personal happiness and wealth, but it doesn't fit to what we are discussing here. A high-value man. It can change your life, but it doesn't fit to a high-value man. Many people confuses money and status with being a high-value man. They are two very different things. For example, a person can earn $200,000 a year and still be controlled remotely by their spouse, or be a fearful, shy individual who do not become a high-value man, and a shy individual who does not become a high-value man only because of this financial wealth. So these aspects of utility and the other components which have been speaking about are very crucial to be a high-value man. Gold, for instance, is valuable because humans assign the value to gold. It is essentially just a metal and nothing else. Similarly, skills that a high-value man possesses must be useful for his community, his society, and for a network of other high-value men, so that they can mutually benefit from each other's skills, influence, and capabilities. One more time, I'm Patekateka Nkululeko. Thank you for being with us. Until the next analysis, take care.
No nível desejável e para além disso, por que em todos os outros níveis a seguir ao homem de alto valor só discutimos condições, aspectos financeiros, mas no homem de alto valor nós vamos discutir outros aspectos que não têm necessariamente nada a ver com finanças? Aqui alguns aspectos vão vislumbrar-se e nós vamos ter que aprofundar nesses aspectos. É no homem de alto valor que nós vamos discutir aspectos que têm a ver com mindset, mentalidade, aspectos comportamentais, o tipo de conhecimento que este indivíduo deve ter, a visão que este indivíduo deve ter perante o mundo, perante os seus pares, a sociedade, os negócios, os seus hábitos de vida, o seu estilo de vida, a sua visão nas componentes que têm a ver com a família, com o emprego, com a educação. Estes aspectos todos são discutidos neste nível do homem de alto valor, porque este nível é a transição. Assume-se que quem transita deste nível, homem de alto valor, já adquiriu todas as componentes acima da componente financeira que fazem com que ele seja capacitado para ir navegar nos outros níveis, milionário, multimilionário, por aí em diante, sem qualquer tipo de desafio.